This episode of The Life of Bryony is sponsored by Asda, celebrating 60 years of great family value. That's Asda price. Welcome to The Life of You, our bonus series where we answer your questions and try to make sense of life's messier bits. I'm joined again by the brilliant Sarah Hoover, author of The Motherload. Today we're talking about losing yourself in motherhood and the unfair pressure to be grateful for it.
Like, happy parents are good parents. And it will behoove her children to see her having passion for something and not just being a mom, you know?
Your questions answered right after this. So, this is from Nadia, okay? And she says, I used to have a big job, friends, freedom, and now I'm a stay-at-home mum drowning in laundry and cartoons. The cartoons are the worst, are they not?
Oh, yeah, I don't know what it's like here, but we have this one called Blippi that I write about in my book.
Sorry, what?
Blippi.
No, I don't know
okay.
that.
I'm glad for you.
Before we go into the next half of Nadia's question, because I definitely have missed, what I missed was like Bluey.
Yeah, we have, yeah.
Bluey
yeah.
is like, and I had to go the other Christmas. I went to see Bluey live.
Live?
Yeah, it was like, I'm in recovery. So like, I haven't taken drugs for a long time.
You don't have to.
It's the
Just go
closest
see Bluey live.
I felt to taking drugs since I'd given it up.
Wow.
There was like, there was obviously the people with the Blueys and the things, but then there was also like bubbles. It was mad. So Nadia says, so she's drowning in laundry and cartoons, and we've just made it worse by just going off on a tangent. Everyone says that motherhood is the most important job, but I feel erased. Why don't I feel grateful? And that is from Nadia.
Oh, girl, I get it. I totally understand. Motherhood is a really important job. We all know this because we all have mothers.
Yeah.
But I think it is totally normal. No one ever questions a man for having a multifaceted identity and for being able to indulge all parts of his identity. And feeling erased as a woman and feeling like you're supposed to be appreciative of that, that's supposed to be natural for you to not have passions outside of the home that you own and that are a part of your identity, is a totally unfair societal expectation.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that she can find a way to indulge in the things that bring her great satisfaction and happiness and figure out a way to do both, because it is so important. Like, happy parents are good parents. And it will behoove her children to see her having passion for something and not just being a mom, you know?
There's another thing which I will tell Nadia about as someone who's a bit further down the line, right? Is that it's like the grass is always greener.
Totally.
Now my daughter is 12. I'm like, I miss that time.
Yeah,
when
you're like, you don't need me?
Yeah. And it's like, oh, for fuck's sake, Bryony. You know, like, I couldn't wait to get out of it. And now I'm like, let's go back there. And it's like, just take a moment.
What I've realized is everything is a phase.
Everything is a phase.
And it does end.
And each phase, and you're like, oh, I've forgotten that phase.
Totally. And some of them are 6 months and some of them are 3 years. But they do end. It all ends eventually. It all ends. And you kind of have to cherish even the rough parts of it, because you get it's still like it will be over sometime. And you do look back on it and you're like, God, that was really hard. And I'm glad I complained. You should be able to complain about it.
Oh, yeah, complain about it.
You know, you could say it sucks. That's okay.
Yeah.
But none of it's permanent.
This is a paid advertisement from Asda. You know those weeknights where everything feels like a rush? Homework to finish, bath time chaos, kids running riot, and somehow you've still got to make dinner too. It's the classic parenting juggle. Well, this is where Joe Wicks and Asda come in as the heroes we didn't know we needed. Joe's teamed up with Asda to create quick, easy, budget-friendly meal ideas that are delicious. Think sticky chicken noodles, Mexican meatball tray bakes, creamy salmon pasta, real food that's quick to rustle up, tasty, and budget-friendly. Because sometimes the biggest win of the day is getting the whole family fed and still having 5 minutes to yourself before bedtime negotiations begin. Whether you're feeding fussy toddlers or grumpy teenagers, Joe Wick's meal picks take the stress out of dinner time. Search Joe Wick's meal picks at asda.com now to see what your lot will love. That's Asda price. Ellie says, I resent my husband more than I like him right now.
Yes.
He sleeps through the night feeds, he still gets to go to the gym, and when he changes one nappy or takes the baby for an hour, people act like he deserves a medal. Meanwhile, I'm doing 90% of everything, meals, naps, emotional load, and I feel completely invisible. We're meant to be good communicators. We've always talked about everything, but this is driving a quiet wedge between us, and I don't know how to bring it up without sounding bitter or starting a fight. How do I stop this building into real resentment? I mean, it sounds like it already has.
You're already there.
Yeah.
I think they need couples therapy. And I know that like costs money and takes time and is annoying. And the first couples therapist that they meet, they're probably going to hate, and they're probably going to have to like audition 3 of them to find someone who gets it, because therapy is like any other relationship. It's not always the perfect fit. I got to a point with my husband where I gave him like a ultimatum and was like, I can't do this anymore. She's already doing 90% of the stuff. So like she could be like, F it, I'm going to do 100% of the stuff. It's not that much more. And then I don't have to deal with him. She could, but.
Love that energy.
Yeah. We don't have to keep things around that are slowing us down. Okay. She's fully capable of doing this on her own. However, there are reasons that she chose to be in a partnership with him to begin with. I assume some of those are still there, and it is likely worth investigating in the care of a couples therapist if they should stay together. She should not tolerate that for the rest of time though. That is not meant to be her life. That is not her calling. I mean, to take care of a grown-ass man is not her calling. I promise her that.
You and your husband had to really come apart to come back together again, didn't you? Was that
absolutely? Yeah. And I'm so glad it went down that way, because not that our relationship's perfect at all, but we have reached a new level of honesty and of equity in our partnership, because it completely broke down. I put my foot down. I said, I am not doing this like this anymore. We have to reorganize things, and it takes a lot of work, and you both have to be willing to do a lot of work. And not everybody can do that. Not everybody has the time, the resources, the energy. It's really hard, I think, particularly for men to, like, I don't think culture equips them to admit culpability and to take accountability and be responsible. Like, most of the men I know are babied by their mothers, their sisters, the women in their life. From day one, they're treated with kid gloves. And it's really hard all of a sudden, like in their 40s, to have to get their shit together. But I got to a point where I was like, well, then I guess I don't need men in my life if they can't be the kind of men that have their shit together, because this sucks and I'm not happy. So why would I do it like this? I'm unwilling to be in a marriage where I have to do everything.
Ellie.
Sorry, girl, but it's time.
I love this answer. I wish you could come every week.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
A big thank you to Sarah for sharing so much of herself and for meeting these questions with such honesty and heart. If anything we said resonated with you, please pass it on. It helps more than you know. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time.